For joining us at 7 o'clock, I'm Tracey McCain.
I'm Caitlin Nuclo. You're watching Eyewitness News on the Wax. A lot to talk about, but first let's say hello to meteorologist Jill Gilardi because we have some rain in the forecast a couple days this week to get to.
Even a little snow.
Oh, wait, what?
Not for everybody, yeah. You know, Litchfield Hills, I'm always jelly of them. I'm like, just an hour away, and you guys can have a chance to snow on Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
How about that?
Different weather up there.
Yeah, whole different ball game. You go up a little bit in elevation, that's a different story. But today it's just rain for us, and it's beneficial rain at this morning. And then we're going to be dry tomorrow, and then here we go with a rainstorm for Thanksgiving. And yes, there could even be some snow, especially across the Litchfield Hills. First alert weather day for that. Now, we're tracking this morning not only rain moving in across New England, but there's even some icy, freezing rain up across northern New England. You see all that pink. Well, we're not going to be dealing with that. Temperatures seem to be on our side in that fashion. So just that rain building in this morning. There's a winter weather advisory into New Hampshire, Vermont in that zone. You can find out more information on that if you're curious to the First Alert weather app. So the clouds are thickening up over towards Torrington where it's 39 degrees. The cool spot Willimantic at 31. And we're going to be climbing into the 40s today and 50s. So that rain chance 9 a.m. to about 1 p.m. That's the greatest chance. And temperatures will be getting up to about 51 in Litchfield. Looks like about 50 in Canton, about 47 in Stores. And the temperatures down towards the shoreline, you should be just a little bit on the milder side. Look at that, mid and upper 50s. So that's where the warmth is going to be today. But we're timing out that rain for you, not only for today, but also for Thanksgiving. So stay with us. For now, I'll send it over to Caitlin.
All right, thanks, Jill. Good morning, everyone. 7:02. If you're just waking up and joining us here on the Wax, we do appreciate that. But I want to start you off with this first alert. This is in Branford, Route 139. So North Branford Road is closed between Thompson Road and East Main Street here this morning. This is what DOT is reporting as a vehicle that went into a utility pole. We've got some wires down, so crews will be on scene working to make those repairs and cleaning up. Make sure that you're avoiding the area. Rest of the state not doing too bad right now. We are expecting that rain to move through, as Scott and Jill have been mentioning all morning. So if the later you leave the house, the higher the chances are that you run into some wet, potentially dangerous road conditions. But right now, live look here in Hartford, here in Waterbury, Meriden, and then there in Middletown. Still not seeing really heavy congestion across the state. The airports are going to be busier today as people take to the skies for that holiday travel. But we are seeing normal delays down through Fairfield County 95 southbound New Haven to the George Washington Bridge. I'm Caitlin Francis with your Connecticut Chevy First Alert traffic report, driven by your Connecticut Chevy dealers.
All right, let's get right to breaking news happening in New Haven.
That's what we're learning right now about a police presence on 6th Street. Pinpoint News Tracker shows you exactly where that is. We're still working to learn why officers are there, what they're investigating.
We do have a crew on the way. Of course, we'll bring you those late-breaking details as soon as they're into the newsroom. In Hartford this morning, the fate of dozens of tenants will be decided in a special meeting a week from today.
This comes after the city council rejected an extension for temporary housing for the Concord Hills apartment tenants.
Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Marcy Jones explains what happens next.
Good morning. Well, this certainly has been a long time coming. Tenants have been displaced for months, and now they're looking for an extension. Meanwhile, the subcommittee says they're looking for more information to make this decision. After a fire tore through the Concord Hills apartment in early August, dozens of families have had the same question on their minds. When can we get back to our homes? The temporary housing agreement with the city is set to expire 2 weeks from today, on December 10th. Monday night, City Council voted 5-2 against the resolution, citing a lack of information about the repairs process. However, they said they're open to discussing it at Tuesday's subcommittee meeting. Dozens of passionate tenants say if something isn't done, these families could be homeless for the holidays.
Nobody's getting what they deserve, what they need, and this is a city we rely on, that we're paying our taxes, that we're being productive citizens. Okay, we're not criminals. We're not asking you for a handout. We're asking for what we deserve. Basic living conditions.
In an effort to help, the city is also offering displaced tenants $4,000 each to help with relocation fees, as well as offering a list of available apartments. Many tenants, though, say they've looked at that list and say those apartments are not comparable or too expensive. We've also reached out to the apartment complex just for a timeline on when these repairs will be made, and they have not gotten back to us. In Hartford, Marcy Jones, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
All right, some developing news now to get to in Ellington. Police saying that someone went to the hospital after a car crashed into a tree and caught on fire.
Yeah, that crash shut down a portion of Route 140 for nearly 8 hours overnight. That road finally back open this morning around 5. Take a look at the video that our crews saw when they got there. Police tell us someone drove their car off Sandy Beach Road, and we're working to learn more about the victim's conditions and whether anyone else was in the car.
Well, happening today, a man is facing charges in connection to the death of his cousin and will face a judge. Sender Soto-Valise is charged with evidence tampering and hindering prosecution. Police say he was involved in the death of his 18-year-old cousin, Edgar Martinez. Investigators say Martinez's body was found in a comforter at Pope Park nearly 24 hours earlier this month after he was shot in an apartment complex on Magnolia Street. A 17-year-old also facing murder charges in this case.
Also happening today in Hartford, Mothers United Against Violence are hosting a vigil to honor a mother and baby boy who were killed in a shooting last Tuesday. It's tonight at 6 p.m. at 380 New Britain Avenue.
And all of this comes as Hartford police say the accused killer, Lance Morales, is now in custody after being tracked down in Puerto Rico. He'll be extradited back to Connecticut to face charges in connection to that shooting death of 20-year-old Josiah Mercado and her 4-month-old son, Messiah.
Right now, a Connecticut couple is facing charges accused of running an elaborate theft ring at Lululemon stores in several states. Police say Danbury couple Jadion Richards and Aquelle Lewis Richards stole nearly $1 million in merchandise. We're told the scheme involved traveling to stores nationwide and them shoplifting items. Police caught them in Minnesota, charging them with organized retail theft.
Today, we're learning more about the concerns in Connecticut classrooms.
Educators from Connecticut's largest teachers union recently completed a survey, and now the results will be released in just a few hours. Channel 3's Roger Zusanin picks up our coverage and what we're expected to learn.
Well, ladies, listen, we all know that teachers always face a bunch of different challenges, right? But today, the union known as the Connecticut Education Association will also present several steps that they believe will help solve some of the biggest issues that educators deal with in our state. CEA leaders tell us that hundreds of teachers completed this survey, which they do every year. And later today at the Capitol in Hartford, a big group of educators and state leaders will come together to kind of share their key takeaways and their perspectives. The results indicate teachers feel they face several critical challenges right now, including cases of poor student behavior, alarming levels of stress and burnout, inadequate pay, and overall disrespect. The union is still trying to determine how all of this plays a role in the ongoing teacher shortage that's happening in Connecticut as well as the rest of the country. The findings of the survey, by the way, will be discussed at the state capitol today at 1 p.m. Of course, we'll have all the details throughout the day for you. Tracy, over to you.
All right, thanks, Raj. State leaders now urging you to be extra cautious about skincare products marketed towards your children.
Attorney General William Tong says the products claim that they can prevent aging and are pitched as a must-have holiday item. One product from a brand called Drunk Elephant comes in bright packaging. You can see it here. One doctor we spoke with says the products can cause irritation, red skin, breakouts, and he says they could cause long-term skin problems as well. That doctor says there are no warnings on the package, meaning that parents need to read the active ingredients for themselves.
As a parent, you need to pay attention to what your kids are buying. Look at the labels. Many of these things they don't really need.
Not playful, their packaging, but maybe that's why it's kind of like kids kind of like it.
Well, doctors tell us skincare products for young children should be kept simple. And if you have a teenager, make sure you reach out to a doctor before you introduce them to a new product.
Good morning, everyone. It's 7:09, and we are tracking a little bit of rain starting to move in across western Connecticut on the only live radar in the state. As we zoom in towards Kent, you can see some of that lighter rain beginning to fall, headed up towards Warren, and this rain will continue to spread eastward as we head throughout the morning hours. Beautiful sunrise. Enjoy that for the little bit of time it's going to be with us in Hartford. 40 degrees right now. It is a fairly overcast, not as bright looking over in New Haven. So a mixture of temperatures. The colder air is over to the northeast where we have some low 30s, a little pocket of chill there. So definitely need the jacket this morning, and the rain gear is going to be necessary probably around lunch and recess. But afterwards, the ride home should be dry, and then we will turn our attention to